Live 5, live 5. Yes, all. We're going live at 5. It's kind of something I figured. It's kind of harder for me to do this. It's kind of hard for me to be doing mornings all the time, I think. I don't know if everyone has a chance to be able to want to come on, if they do want to come on. I have been coloring the dude. So I got done with my show today earlier, and I colored for a little while longer. I just wanted to knock out a few more things. I started working a little deeper on the face, and it was fun. Yes, it was fun. So I'm just gonna crack into the face right now. Get right on into it. But I think the eyes are a little too blue for what I'm going for here. So I'm gonna go up. Pick my blue that I had, and I'm just going to lighten it. Now I'm going to pick it like this, so that way I am going to continue. So that all looks pretty good. I'm on my JohnnyTronic color, so I'm over here. I just got to look real quick to see where I'm at. I'm on my color sheet here, my color layer, and let's start giving the eyeball was looking a little too dark for me. Oh, I pushed B. So this is going to just soften it up. You'll see when I go back out here. It just lightens up his eyeball a little bit. So I have once again been paying attention to all this stuff that's kind of going on. I've been, of course, busy in the daytime, so I don't have a lot of time to really peruse like a lot of people do who are YouTubers, which I am only having fun in this arena. But at the same time, to keep conversation fun, things are interesting, if nothing else. The world is full of fantastic things. What do you do? It's actually pretty cool, I think. So that does lighten up his eye a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with his face for the moment. I'm going to rope off an area so I can contain his forehead a little bit easier. I just want this top little part. Actually, I am going to take this part out. So what I'm doing right here is I am just making it to where I'm just going to be focusing on, I'm going to add a little more. I'm going to add it down probably, let's get it to go like at least to there. It just makes it to where I can kind of continue. If I just feel the urge to continue past the forehead just a little bit, which I'm really just trying to contain myself to the forehead and the forehead alone. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to start a shade going on here. I'm going to pick myself a color. Now, art is a fickle industry, but it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend anyone who's getting into it to put some little effort, have some fun. It's doable. Like I said, I don't recommend it for everybody, but it does give you insight into some fun stuff. Like did a lot of stuff in the movies, movie stuff. I'm gonna darken this layer, this color right here to like that. Keep it reddish because it keeps it. And then you, like I was saying, you start to do stuff in the, I guess you could say, in the industry. I'm not like professing to. There we go. Too much. Okay, let's go this here. But when you start to do the art for some of this stuff, it does give you a unique, fun insight into what you're seeing. Like I was on a movie and I was helping them do a little bit of lighting. So one of the lighting guys I was assisting him. How's that look? And to see how this guy was, they all are. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just be. He's deserving of everything I say here, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who are really good at what they do. But you know, they're in there maneuvering light around to create the illusion, and so much of the illusion is done in light. I've noticed. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna go through, and every once in a while, I like to come up to my smudger, and then just kind of goof it where you see any real like that. So now whenever I watch movies, I'm always seeing unique things. That's fun. I highly recommend, you know, if you have an opportunity to volunteer and someone's like, hey man, we're shooting a movie. Could you mind helping? I'll do it. I don't like a lot of that last little bit of maneuvering. So that's not bad for my forehead there. See, that really adds up. Yeah, that looks good from there. So let me clink out. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. So all of a sudden you can see his forehead starting to, like the hair is pulling away. And then I'm going to come over and work on my ears. What's the newest movie coming out? Anyone know what's going on right now in the movie world? That's kind of... It's funny. I love movies, and I'm never able to watch them anymore. You know, I have a little boy, which, of course, once you have a little schmunchkin, it definitely makes things a little more difficult when it comes to time. So right here, I just see a couple holes that I want filled, and I have already started a little something there. So let me... Yeah. Touch that a little bit there. Kind of head over it. Just barely touch it. Sometimes it kind of just softens it. There we go. That looks good. So yeah, my man, 8 years old. He is awesome, super cool. I mean, really imagination galore, which of course most kids when they're young have a great imagination. My son is no exception to that. So we have been thinking of this character for a while, and it's been kind of coming to light in different ways. What's happening here? I just hit that tool, rope tool. I'm gonna rope. Actually, yeah, I am gonna rope this off. And the reason I'm going to rope this off right here is because there's always a really fun, funky shadow that you can really play with the ear. I'm going to take off the little nubbin. No, I think I can work within the nubbin. This little funkalicious nubbin there, little Goofy nub. Yeah, I like that color. Airbrush. And make it just, when I airbrush, I like to do it a little bit on the, since I don't know what the color is going to look like, tone it down a bit. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that looks good. Ooh. I made one more cup of coffee just for this. My treat. I was never too crazy, but at the same time, I went a little too far when it came to drinking, so I quit drinking. So I do have a kind of thing when it comes to actually having a little bit of something to sip on. But I don't have the urge at all anymore, the odd thing. So when I quit, I did quit for all. I have no urge at all to drink alcohol anymore. I'll tell you the one weird thing is, I don't see how it's a little more difficult to go out. I don't drink. It's tough to go out. Everyone drinks. They almost look at you like you're defective. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I did drink too much. There's no way around it. It didn't do me any good. And since I quit, it hasn't came back to me in a way that's made me want to go back at all in the slightest. So, I don't know. Everyone seems to, it's like I must be broken or something, but I'm not. I just realized that it wasn't for me. A lot of people do their version of anything, and everyone will always, there's always that person who's like, that stuff was not for me. Well, drinking was not for me. Really wasn't. Anyone who knew me at the time would say I wasn't really even so much an angry drunk. It just, I was not productive, and when I'm not productive, I'm not a happy person. So I was counterproductive for the most part. Let's smudge for a second. And I think everyone's allowed their foibles. If you decide to pick yourself up, then it really does make things a little bit easier in life. And now I'm going to go over to this. And since I got the inside, I think the way I like it, I really do like that. Now I'm going to go do this. Go to my, go over alpha to select the whole thing. And now what it's going to do is it's going to put a border right along the edge of his ear that I'm going to want to play with. I'm just looking for a place where I can put a hard border, so that way when I go off with my airbrush tool, I'm not airbrushing off into the back part of the palette or the canvas. And I do want to add a little bit more to his ear. Yeah, like this. I am going to be holding lessons for stuff like this. So on my website, you can see it on the corner over here. Boom. I'm going to be holding private lessons for anyone who wants to come and work private lessons with me. It is a part of my webpage. I'm going to get it to where it's going to be kind of like this right here. You're going to see me on the screen like you're seeing me right here, except for the fact that there's just going to be a little taximeter on there. And that's just the way it goes. I really don't care what people say. That is just the way it goes. And for the most part, I think everyone understands. It's just a taximeter. You get to look at how long you want to. If you have $20 to spend and you really want to do something, and you're at a loss, I'm not. Come talk to me. We'll figure it out. I do have to charge because I have other things to do. If someone gives me compensation for what I'm doing, it does allow me the opportunity to help them a lot easier. There's just no way around it. I wish there was. I will be doing charity things from time to time, setting up charity events for me to actually work with people on the same type of a situation. So you can see there, I just gave a little bit of kick to the outside of the ear. And then what I'll eventually end up doing is the same thing, but whenever I start frosting everything, I'm going to give it that light gloss coat to where everything kind of has a little bit of a shine at certain places. I've already done it a little bit for the hair. I'm gonna go for a you know, my comic style for this one here is gonna be, I don't know if I can say a little. Some people really get it, have their really fun style. I have a story to tell with this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. This one here, this story is going to. This is my son, fictitious character. In this fictitious world, he goes into a store that has like older style things that are all and gaming stuff for the most part. It would almost feel like an antique store, but an antique store for gaming. So it has all the games through the years. So it has woodsy look to a lot of stuff, all the way up to even like, let's say, Nintendo and maybe even a few other things like very cherished extra style PlayStations, but the extra elites. But it's kind of this antique store from a real eclectic style person. I can almost see a Jim Carrey-esque Timberlake in that one movie he did. I like that movie he did. But a real eclectic style of person who has kind of that fun extra look, but real animated that can get in there and really sell the thing. That's of course me and my movie mind, but at the same time, I just want people to see what I'm seeing here. But so he goes into the store, and there is this steampunk Victorianish looking game controller, real interesting looking thing, ivory-ish, but not ivory-ish. You know, it's old. It's like that era, and it has like a gold inlay maybe, and on the top it has like a Jumanji-ish looking dome that's more like the Eye of Cerebus from Doctor Strange. So it has all these things kind of all wrapped up. Come on, this is what's happening in the world. Now I'm watching a lot of this stuff myself, so so I'm a part of it. You know, seeing all these fun things happen. So this is going to come into my character here, my JohnnyTronic character. So he grabs this controller that, as soon as he does come close to it, you could see that the Eye of Cerebus thing, the Jumanji dome in the middle, kind of start to like move and wobble, and it instantly gets the. You know who it also reminds me of? Ollivander from Harry Potter. So the Ollivanderish character watching what's happening with this kid and this controller, and he just starts to, you know, come into this, like, he's watching him, and then the controller starts to activate almost around JohnnyTronic, Johnny, and instantly the almost like, you know what I almost see almost too. Oh, that would be actually pretty sweet. I do see it like this. I almost see it like one of those old shaky 8-ball things, you know, where you'd put the old shaky 8, you know, and then all of a sudden you would say, yeah, you're SOL. But but at the same time, I see that, and it glasses up, and maybe it says something like, you know, something like JohnnyTronic. I don't know. There's something to that. But the JohnnyTronic thing bumps up, and it says, say JohnnyTronic, or something. I don't know. It's got to be almost Jumanji-ish. And as soon as it happens, it starts to activate. The guy at the front starts to... So he becomes a part of this, the character who's the store clerk. But JohnnyTronic gets to have adventures in the gaming world of many different varieties, of all gaming varieties. He eventually gets a gauntlet. The gauntlet gives him the ability to transfer between all games. He can go back in time through games. He can start a game here in this time and go back to the time, anywhere along the time track, I'm thinking. So he's almost like a time shifter. But he's 8 years old. That's the beauty of this. We're talking darn near Time Lord status, but with the gorgeous, youthful... He hasn't been beat down yet. He's just looking at it like, I gotta solve this, because he's a good kid, you know. My son is a good kid. He is a good kid. He's got a heart as big as the universe. He really does. I love my boy so much. But with that, let me wrap up at the end of this right here, so I can tell you what's going on with my story with JohnnyTronic, because it's so fun. I want to start writing a backstory to it. So I already have a comic. My first comic page, woo woo woo, is right over here. So I've already put this into my computer, and I'm already. But if you could see right here, he goes for the controller. So this is like the first ever issue, like the first ever page for the first ever issue is going to be my little teaser spoiler, and it's going to be my son going in to grab the controller, and in the background I'm going, "Hey boy, make sure you finish your homework. I'll be up in a little while." And he looks back and he says something like, "I hope it only takes a little while," and then it shows him grabbing the controller right here, and you can just see how the power just like, and he's getting entered in through. I'll have probably a quick little pop-up of that tomorrow. I'll have it set up in my top section over here-ish. So I can have a bunch of bars popped up, and I may have a couple bars popped up at that. So he's going to be getting ready to enter straight in. So he's already at the beginning of the comic already happening with this, because I want to have the backstory pop up later. Because, you know, I want it to look good. I want to really be able to spend time on some of the things. But a lot of the beginning issues are going to be able to go straight into action. Let's get straight into some action. I want to see JohnnyTronic crack-a-lack-a-lackin'. But I also want to show JohnnyTronic, I think, also in his first few issues getting a major thing. Like, I want him to get that gauntlet, because the gauntlet's going to have a thing in the back where you can pop open and it's going to be able to have like Pokemon cards and you know, cards, or something could pop out of the secret pocket where all of a sudden, but at the same time it could flip open, and it's got little things, it's got jewels on it too. I have an image of that already started as well, of my JohnnyTronic. I have a whole bunch of images, really. I've been really cranking a whole bunch of stuff. I have him as in the Mario version, so it's going to be him. But, you know, so I got a lot of different images already worked up for it. I don't have but there's another one where I have him with the gauntlet, with the power gauntlet. I have it on my Instagram page. I know I have it here. Here it is. So here is the gauntlet, and it kind of mimics the same thing. But if you can see, I have the little pouch right there, because I want there to be cards. I want this to have so many games and fun things to. So there's challenges. I want this to almost be able to become a game itself, an interactive set of challenges for young kids, to where it's got, you know, like I said, kind of the absence of not parents, but the world, this world that's happening right now, and it brings kids back into, hey, you got to deal with some stuff, and here's how you're going to have to deal with it, you know, Mario style. Okay, everybody, I'm about ready to call this one a good day. This was my first live at 5. I'm having fun with it. I might continue doing this daily, twice a day. I have my 7 o'clock. Come check it out if you got a cup of coffee in the morning and you want to join in the morning. But I'm gonna keep popping these things out. I'm gonna keep making this thing looking live. So I'm trying to not spend too much time doing it elsewhere, so that way I can kind of, I want to get to like stages, so that way you don't see me constantly doing just little bits at a time, because I will end up jabbering. But at the same time, I also want to be able to do some of this stuff in front of everyone, so you guys can kind of see what's happening. Like, most of this I'm going to be doing like maybe on a live, and I'm probably going to be setting up my web page to get to where members can come and watch the rest of it. All you got to do is become a member. You don't got to pay anything for it. Just come and just become a member. And if you become a member, the rest of my live show will continue. So as long as I'm working on it, you can come watch and listen and talk and have live stream chat as well on my webpage. I do have new merch coming in all the time. A lot of the stuff that I'm making here turns into merch. Like, this is going to become a poster. It's my mock comic of JohnnyTronic, but not really. I'm kind of going to say it's also going to be like almost the first episode issue is going to be kind of this right here. It's pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's my 8-year-old boy looking all just, wow, look at him, he's looking so cool. I'm going to have him. There's a whole bunch of fun things that's going to come out of this. A lot of fun little little rules and game rules are popping up, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. So come join the fun, everybody. I know I'm just starting. I'm not expecting too much, but when things start crack-a-lacking, I'm gonna be giving away a lot, a lot, a lot. I want people to come and have fun here. So have a good one. I'll be talking to you all soon tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, at 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way through this. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. JohnnyTronic merch is going to be coming out. Boom, everyone. This is the end of the show. It is another day, just another day. Come and join the fun. Come on, everybody. A lot of fun. Thanks for coming. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the a.m. Pacific time. Later, y'all.